Welcome back to Heart to Rope. This is me when I was growing up, my mom, dad, my brother, and in my teenage years. I grew up in Wyoming on a place called the Garden Ranch, and this is my grandpa and my dad. And I've shown you a few pictures. I love his chaps. That's what we call the home ranch, and I know my grandpa, Bob Garton, didn't rope a whole lot, but he definitely got my dad started into it, and certainly put him on some rank horses when he was young. I think my dad was very rambunctious as a little guy, but it's certainly fun to see these old movies and see everything that my parents and my grandparents did growing up. When my mom and dad got married, it was a church there in Wyoming, and that was my uncle going in and out of the church door. He has since passed away, but some great memories. It just cracks me up, the car, everybody. That was my brother and our fort. When we were growing up as kids, we had our fort that we would play in. So always fun times, and mom and dad were always taking us to roping big cattle, fast steers, narrow pins, and dusty. That's what I remember. This is where I grew up. Yep, in the mud puddles. I was a dirty kid. And back at home in the arena, you could always catch us out at our arena roping heels. Mom and dad, we were constantly either on horseback or roping all the time. Dad was always into perfecting that heel loop. At the very end of our arena, it was a drop-off into a creek, some of the best trout and brown fishing ever. I miss that. It was great times. Growing up in Wyoming, I was fortunate to carry the American flag at our pro rodeos on the black mare. And she's a black mare who's bucked me off before, but this is us gathering cattle there in front of our house by the barns, and it seems like every time we were riding it was cold. This is my barrel horse Eagle. We went, mom and dad hauled me and my brother to many a high school rodeos, and so rode him. He was one of my better barrel horses. They're hard to come by. But he was certainly fun to ride. And then I headed this one thing at our high school rodeos was we got to carry 2 loops, so if we missed, we got to pull off the second loop and try again. And mom and dad were always good to make sure we knew you take all of that time and you get your cattle roped. Basically, don't ever quit. You keep trying. There were times it wasn't pretty. You got outran, and I don't remember quite everything that was going through my head then and there. It was just get to the calf and try to get him roped. You're just tired by the end of the run. I'm tired just watching this. I can't believe it. That's my grandma Kirkhart on my mom's side, and some old family pictures. It's just fun to look back and see, like my brother riding saddle broncs or me showing blue at home. I had those days when I was little trying to get up in the saddle and then showing blue at our county fair. Thanks for joining me this week in Heart to Rope, kind of seeing my family, my background, where I came from, why I'm so passionate about roping, and hopefully it will warm up and stop raining and we'll be roping again here soon. Thanks for joining me in Heart to Rope.